songs can fly on the airwaves. They just need a chance to start. Purple songs can grow and hope and faith and fly from heart to heart.
Did you know purple songs can fly? Welcome to our program, produced by the Children in Treatment at the Texas Children's Cancer and Hematology Centers. Our program is about great music made by some terrific young talents. Now, here are the hosts of Purple Songs Can Fly.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Purple Songs Can Fly radio show on the Voice America Kids Network. We're coming to you from the 14th floor of Texas Children's Hospital. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And today we're interviewing Dr. Fatih Mehmet Okcu. Welcome to the studio.
Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's a
I'm
pleasure.
so excited.
Yeah. Okay, so to get the ball rolling, I would just like to know where you were born.
I was born in Turkey,
Yeah.
which is a country in just in the Middle East. Big part of it is in Asia. Very small part of it is in Europe. So it's
Okay.
in both continents.
Right.
I was born in the capital city of Turkey, which is Ankara,
Uh-huh.
in 1965.
All right. You grew up there as well?
Yes, I grew up there. I came to the United States in 1992. So until then,
Oh, okay.
let's make the math. I never thought about that before. So 65
Yeah.
till 92.
Okay.
That's 27. Yeah.
Okay.
When I was 27, I came to Houston.
I see.
And were you a doctor before you came, or did you get your degree afterwards?
I went to medical school in Turkey.
Okay.
But I did not practice there. After I finished the medical school, I did a small residency, some education, some training in anatomy.
Okay.
And after that, I came here
then you came
to do pediatrics.
Now, what sparked the interest? I mean, did you always know that you wanted to be a doctor or...
A doctor? Well, it's a good question. It's so in Turkey, you know, you make that decision a little earlier than here. So people usually go to college here, you know, after high school,
Yeah.
and then you have a bit more time to think about what do I want to do in my life, right?
Yeah.
So in Turkey, we have to make that decision, and that's still the case right after high school.
Oh,
And
okay.
you don't go to college. You just go either whatever profession you want to do. You go to that school. You go to medical school. You go to law school. You go to engineering school.
I see.
Immediately
And you
after
get
high
started.
school.
Okay.
So I made that decision when I was quite young, and it was not a very purposeful decision, to be honest with you. I didn't. I don't. You just don't think about it. So what your friends do, you just did that. You can call it a little bit peer pressure.
Yeah.
And my family also wanted me to be a doctor so bad.
Oh,
I think my
see.
father always wanted to be a doctor, and he just worked on me for a long time.
Oh, I see.
And then it did work out.
Well, I'm glad it worked out, and you sound like you make a good doctor. You treated Emily good. You're her doctor, right?
Yes, you're doing a good job.
You can tell at least I really like my job. I love my job.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. And what were some of your influences? I mean, was there anybody that is like, yes, I want to be like them, or
When I was growing up,
when you were growing up, or going to school or whatever?
to get into my last training, when I decided to become a cancer specialist to treat cancer in children, I had some influences that I remember in terms of people whom I worked with during my training, and they were a couple of doctors who's been doing this for a while,
Right.
and that if you want names, Dr. David Tubergen, Mark Roberts, Archie Blyer, Beverly Rainey. These were individuals. I did not get my training here. These are people from the UT system, from MD Anderson.
Oh, I see.
And,
I see.
And they were. I mean, they were a part of my decision to go into cancer.
How many hospitals have you worked in?
So I've worked at so I did my training at Herman Hospital,
Okay.
and after that I did my another piece of training. So I did my residency in pediatrics, where you become a general pediatrician.
Right.
That was at Herman Hospital,
Okay.
and after that I did my fellowship to become a oncologist, pediatric oncologist at MD Anderson.
Okay.
I worked there for about 3 years, and after I finished my training, then I came here in 2001
Okay.
to Texas Children's, and since then I've been here.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay. How many languages do you speak? You speak English, I can
do
tell very well.
Well, some people say I speak English, yes, and I speak my native language,
Just Turkish.
Turkish.
Okay.
Yes, and that's it. I mean, I can understand some Spanish, un poquito Spanish, but
Right.
that's
When did you learn English after you came here or before? How long did you study it?
So I was one of the lucky teenagers as I'm growing up. So there are 4 schools that were established by the missionaries in the late 1800s
Right.
in Turkey, which are now part of the mainstream curriculum. They're part of the health Ministry of Education,
Yes.
and their curriculum is in English.
Oh.
So and they're full middle and high school together. There are 4 of them. So I was lucky to get into one of those.
So you were speaking English back at your home country in school?
Yeah, that's and so the whole curriculum, everything is in English. So you learn really. I just.
So you could speak it before you came here?
Sure.
pretty
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I finished high school, I was fluent. I mean, when I finished
Awesome.
middle school, I was quite fluent.
Okay. Well, that helps definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your home country, Turkey?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's it like being over there, the climate, anything you want to tell us?
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
obviously here in Houston, it's nice and warm.
It's hot over
A
here.
huge understatement.
So it's a beautiful country. Yeah, so the size is Texas is about 2/3 of the size of my country.
Okay.
So it's pretty big,
Right.
and it's 3 sides. It's surrounded by water. So
Right.
south there's the Mediterranean Sea,
Yes.
and then to the west there's Aegean Sea, which is an extension of the Mediterranean Sea.
Right.
And then to the north there's the Black Sea. Yeah.
I see.
Someone's geography is pretty good.
Right.
I'm
I
impressed.
at least know where Turkey is.
That's
Yes,
pretty
and
good.
this and this and this.
And the seas around it. So
Okay.
and it's about where Turkey is. So Houston is about where Egypt is. So it's you
Okay.
can say maybe the whole country is somewhere between New York and north of Atlanta, north of
Okay.
Georgia. So it's a
Okay.
little bit north, in the hemisphere
Right.
compared to where Texas is.
I
It's
see.
east side is very mountainous.
Mm.
And the west side it's actually so pretty that the whole coast there are a bunch of mountains that end at the sea.
Oh wow.
And they're all green, and the sea is turquoise blue. It's beautiful. So and there's a lot of history there. I don't know if you guys know much about it. It's one of the earliest civilizations.
Right.
1,000 years
Yes.
ago, was found in Turkey, and they're all
Yes.
religions and many empires have been through Turkey. So if you go there, you
Lots of very
visit
cultures.
wonderful places and have learned a lot about history,
Wow.
and it's also very beautiful.
Is it about as hot as here? I'm wondering about the temperatures.
So it's a little bit on the north of the
A little
hemisphere.
cooler.
So it's definitely cooler. I mean, it's 4 seasons.
Right,
In many
right.
parts you'll have with real winter, you'll have snow. The south part where it's by the Mediterranean Sea, it's quite mild. Some
Right.
winters
That
are
sounds
not
nice.
that bad.
And here in Houston, we're like, now what is snow again? What is that stuff? What is the mountain? That big thing right there? What is it? What is it called?
Okay.
What's a hill?
Right, exactly.
We're going to have to wrap up this segment. We'll get right back to you in a little bit, but we're going to end with a song called Alien Doctors. It was written by Mark, Cheyenne, and Hunter. So we'll get right back to you in a little bit.
Nothing personal.
I was lying at home in my bed, my golden Mr. Bear beside me. The roof came off, a bright light
Welcome back to the program, Purple Songs Can Fly on the Voice America Kids Network. We're here at Texas Children's and we're interviewing Dr. Okcu right now, who is actually my personal doctor. And we'll continue our conversation.
Okay, so last we were talking about your home country, Turkey, and how you came over here and did your medical education here and got a job as a doctor.
Right.
And you have been doing that ever since. So let's start this one off going into your schooling in more detail. You came over here and went to several different universities,
Yes.
it sounded like, to do different things. So what was the first one that you went to? And we'll talk about that for a bit.
So I went to University of Texas. The medical branch of University of Texas in Houston is at Herman Hospital.
Okay.
There's a medical school, and
Right.
I joined their residency program in 1992. So between 1992 and 1995,
Okay.
that was my training to become a general pediatrician.
Okay.
So I loved working with kids when I was in the medical school.
Right.
So that was the decision. Just I'll do something with kids and teenagers, of course.
Right.
And so that's how it started, and that's the first university that I've been part of.
Okay.
And after that, I decided to go into oncology to be a cancer specialist, cancer and hematology specialist.
Okay.
And that's the whole training. So that was also within University of Texas, but this time MD Anderson Cancer Center. So that was another 4 years of training
Okay.
to become a hematologist oncologist. To treat cancer and blood disorders
I see.
in children.
And have you treated and actually worked at any hospital other than Texas Children's?
No. So, well,
Okay.
as while you're training, you're working at the same time. So
Okay.
you're treating, but that's because it's training, it's under supervision.
Okay.
But you are being paid,
Okay.
and you are you're an employee.
Right.
You work at those places too. Yes.
Okay.
Now, any reason for pediatric oncology as opposed to just
Why working on
adults?
children, not adults? What made you make that decision?
Well, that was easy because I was always in medical school, and then just in life, with my family, with my cousins. It was always so easy for me to get in touch with them. It was always easy and fun for me to communicate
Right.
with them. It wasn't hard with the adults, but it was more fun with children.
With-
I mean, I always found that easy, that even the youngest babies,
Right.
I would find ways to interact with them and do something with them.
Can relate.
That I think in medical school made me okay. I'm gonna keep just working with this sort of individuals and
Right.
human beings, and then that was just more rewarding and fun.
I see.
For me.
Now, as a resident, did you ever sleep? I'm just curious.
Well,
I'm curious to know
I-
how the residency works.
yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
I mean, it just seems like you just don't sleep. I mean, you're just running around the clock.
Well, that's especially in my time that was actually the case. It depends on the rotation that you're doing. So
I'm
in
sure.
residency, you're just learning about different disciplines of how to take care of a child. So you're learning the basic principles, just all of general care. When do they need shots? What kind of immunizations do they need?
Right.
What is normal growth and development? In addition, what kind of needs they have? How do you help parents to help them grow their
Right.
child? What are the needs when they're a baby? How to change a diaper? Starts from
Right.
there, absolutely. And I knew how to change a diaper before I had a child. And then the needs for teenagers. That's a completely different
Completely
period
different, yeah.
of their life. So that plus all the diseases, what kind of diseases they can
Right.
get, from colds to infections and cancer. So you get a general education of that, and you do that in month rotations. So when
Okay.
you are in an intensive care unit rotation, you are on call every 3 days, and that was how my training was. And you didn't sleep much, when you're on call, but you were off the next day.
Okay.
So you would go home
And-
early at 10 o'clock and then sleep in daytime.
Sleep all day, right?
And then come back the next
Oh,
morning.
I see.
But that I never had a problem with sleep. I don't usually normally sleep a lot, and I You sleep 6 to 7 hours a day, and that's always been my routine. So that wasn't too hard. You know?
I just remember being in the ICU, and it's just like, how are you doing this? It's like, I'm sleeping, and I just keep seeing you. You're just going around the clock.
Yeah, I mean that's also a difficult specialty. That ICU doctors, and they work a lot. They work very hard.
Yeah.
And yes, they don't sleep much for the most part.
How much of your family also moved over here?
None actually.
Really?
So all of my previous family is over there. So I'm married. My wife is Turkish, and so we knew each other over there, but we were just friends. So she came here 2 years after I came here, and then we married in 1997, and then we and our son was born here too. But all of my previous family, my father, my mother, my two brothers, they're all back there, and 10 cousins. And
Oh wow.
What did your father do for a living? What was his profession?
he was a captain in the army.
Oh, I see.
And he, after working 15 years in the army, he retired and then started working for the government.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I'd like to ask one question about that. Your father being a captain in the army, was he involved in Desert Storm?
No,
Okay.
no, that Desert Storm was after the time that he retired.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
My grandfather was in the army, and he fought in the Korean War.
Okay. I've read about these wars over there, so I'm okay.
Curious, yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to you in the next segment in a little bit.
Yes.
We're actually going to end this segment with a song, True Friends, written by Mary Jones, who is 10 years old.
True friends aren't 1 minute friends. They're friends for an hour or a lifetime. They don't make fun of your shoes or clothes. If they do, they're just not friends of mine. True friends really get you, are they? Make you laugh and make you smile. True friends aren't 1 minute friends, yes, they'll be around for a while. True friends don't make fun of you. They help you through the tough times. They like the things that you choose and stand up by your side. True friends really get you, are they? Make you laugh and make you smile. True friends aren't 1 minute friends, yes, they'll be around for a while. It's not always easy to do what you gotta do. To have a true friend, you have to be a true friend too. True friends really get you, are they? Make you laugh and make you smile. True friends aren't 1 minute friends, yes, they'll be around for a while. True friends really get you, are they? Make you laugh and make you smile. True friends aren't 1 minute friends, yes, they'll be around for a while. True friends really get you, are they? Make you laugh and make you smile. True friends aren't 1 minute friends, yes, they'll be around for a while.
Welcome back to Purple Songs Can Fly on the Voice America Kids Network. I'm Dominic Tavlin,
I'm Emily Freeman.
and we were just interviewing Dr. Okcu. So let's get back to that.
Yes. Now, you are part of the long-term survivor program, correct?
That is correct.
I just went into the program because I am 5 years out, actually 6 years out now. And so, what is involved in that? I mean, what do you do exactly?
So that's actually, a very important part of our cancer center.
Yeah.
Plus a very important part of my, daily life too.
Sure.
So I treat, patients like you,
Right.
with brain tumors
Right.
and some other tumors, some soft tissue tumors, in 2 days a week. That's my clinic, and then I do some other things. But about at least a day of my week goes to the survivorship program.
Okay.
So we have a very strong and busy survivorship program. We have a lot of patients. So when our patients meet that 5-year after the end of therapy mark,
Yeah.
we transfer their care to our very specialized survivorship program.
Yeah.
There are 2 providers there, one physician and one nurse practitioner, whose expertise is to take care of the needs of a patient who's 5 years out from the treatment. So at that time, the possibility of their cancer coming back is extremely low.
Right.
So most of the
Next to
time,
none.
we stop doing scans or blood tests looking for is the cancer coming back or not. So that usually ends.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the focus goes on to what kind of treatments they had and what kind of side effects, late effects they can have
True.
because of these treatments. Radiation therapy, chemotherapy, or even surgery, you can have some side effects that happen way after
Right,
your
late effects.
treatment is finished. So that's how the clinic works. But we also do a lot of research, and that's where I come in. So I'm the co-director
Right.
of the research program for the survivorship clinic. So I think about what are the most important questions to ask, what are the most important studies
Right.
to conduct in that area, and I work with a wonderful group of researchers
Yeah.
and to develop new studies, and also when we develop the ideas, to make sure they're executed. I find the right people to put the teams together
Right.
to do those studies.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay. That's really neat. Now, what type of person makes a good researcher? Obviously you, but
Yeah, what qualities does it help to have, or does it take to have to be what you are?
I mean, say somebody is interested in going into the program. It's like, I mean, how do
Well, so that's a very good question, and of course I have to think about it a little bit. To do good research, and we have a lot of trainees, and that's one of my most fun thing to do is also work with them,
Right.
and that's one important thing. How do you teach someone how to do research, right?
Yeah.
So when I think about that, I always start with, okay, it has to be something that you're excited about. So
Something that you're interested in.
That you're interested in.
Yeah.
So when you are thinking about it, you will have that adrenaline rush, and just you want
to do it.
Right. You're motivated.
You want to
Right.
do it, and you want to find the most important answer to a very, very important question. And when you do that, that's going to mean something that's going to change the life of a patient.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm very interested in figuring out why some patients have learning problems after brain tumor treatment,
Right.
and some don't. And there's a variation in terms of some have it in a very severe scale, and some have it in a very minimal scale. Even
Right.
though they get the same treatment, they have the same disease, everything else is being equal.
Right.
So that's an unknown question, and that sort of intrigues me.
Right.
That I'd say it excites me. So you sit down and just think about with many experts in the field. So when you are doing research, you form hypotheses. You put
Right.
there some plausible answers, and what you do, you test that. So the quality of a person, you have to know the methods to answer those questions.
Right.
So I went through training, extra training, and I got a master's in public health. So learned epidemiological methods to answer these questions. So what hypothesis that we came with was the molecular epidemiology, and that's where that molecular epidemiology aspect of my research part comes in.
Right.
So we think that people are different in terms of their genes.
Right.
So we all have our genes in our little cells that determine what those cells to become. So you're born with this information, which is it's in the genes of your cells that tell your cells this part of that little tiny baby piece is going to become brain. The other part is going to become arm. The other part is going to become your blue eyes or brown hair. So all that is determined by your genes. So we also come to answer come to this question, the research question. Maybe some people have a severe learning problem after the radiation because of their genes, because we all have different genes,
Right.
and there are some genes in our body, in our brain, that are responsible from handling the radiation, handling the chemotherapy, how they break the effects of radiation.
Right.
So, and you may have an A gene that may just break the radiation effects in a very efficient way. Okay, and Dominic may have the B gene, which and doesn't work so well. So you get the same treatment, and you may have a much different learning problem, even though you guys got the same treatment. So what we do is we do this in a very wide scale. So with tiny one, a drop of blood,
Right.
we can measure millions of genes,
wow.
and that which are different, and then look at the differences between the patients after treatment.
Wow. That is crazy.
We're going to end this segment with the song Dream Big, written by Emily right here when she was 14 years old.
All right.
So we'll get right back to you after this.
Look at all I've been through. Look at all I've missed. But even though it was hard, I know the right path was the one followed. Cut off so abruptly, being away from friends. But it's made me stronger. Opened up my eyes to see that change is good enough for me. And now I realize that you can dream big. The curtains up, the stage is set. We've come to life, and now it's time to dream big. To dream big. Look and you will
Welcome back to the program, Purple Songs Can Fly, on the Voice America Kids Network. We're here with Dr. Okcu, and we'll continue our conversation.
I want to take the start of this one. I have some more questions about turkey that didn't get answered in the last one. And then Emily can ask more questions later.
Okay. He'll do that later.
Okay. Now, I've never been to Turkey, so I've got lots. First off, what did you do over there to play? As a child, did you have football? I mean, what were some of your favorite sports or activities, hobbies? What did you do growing up?
That's an awesome question. So so first of all, you've never been to Turkey. Let me just pick up on that and just and tell you that there's a direct flight from Houston, Turkey right now, and with Turkish Airlines, and it's about a 12-hour flight, and it's when the season is down. It's actually not a very expensive flight. It's a wonderful country to go to have a vacation. And just to put that in there so that you start working with your parents about that. And also
anyone who's listening, if you want to go to Turkey.
Just saying. Saying.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, when I was growing up, there was no. Initially, actually, there was no TV. I mean, the first time I remember TV coming up. This is I was born in 1965.
Right.
So, first time we had TV, I was in I think first or second grade, and it was black and white. It was actually fun. And our house was one of the first ones, so all of the neighborhood kids would be there watching TV with us just during certain days of the week.
Yeah.
But what did we do is we were outside. We were just playing. So soccer. I mean, just football. Is that what you meant? So I grew up playing soccer all the time, and in the neighborhood, and some other games too. Of course, I'm just you play other things. But I was on the street. I mean, and that's what we did, and that was awesome. It as of course you as I was in middle school, high school, I was spending the entire day in school. That was about 30-minute drive from my home, and we had any sports that you can have. I mean, just from high. You call it high jumping? Just when
the hurdles. Right. I don't know what that's called. Yeah. When you jump over the big thing.
Yes. So I was jumping over the big thing at an early age, and then I played a lot of basketball. I was in the school team in both basketball and soccer. I was actually a goalie. I was a really good goalie. That I played for my school. We played in the nationals. So I did a lot of sports. Yes.
I really admire people who do sports. I mean, I have to say, whenever I played sports, I would just run from the ball. I mean, my first ignition is not to kick it or hit it. I mean, just like, no, run from it.
All my sisters have that too. I don't get it.
Maybe it's a girl thing.
It's because you're an artist. You're a dancer and a musician. Remember, some people are just not born for to play with the ball. Yeah.
Do you remember some of your favorite foods?
In Turkey?
In Turkey. What did you eat?
Anything that we really don't have here.
I still eat them because we cook. I mean, my wife is a great cook, and there are a couple of Turkish restaurants. I mean, so it's so my favorite foods are the vegetable and meat mixed dishes. That is, so in Turkey, it's all, you can mix anything. You can have a whole or only vegetarian or mixed veggie and meat dishes. So my favorites are the eggplant dishes, that usually baked eggplant with mincemeat in it and ton of other herbs, including garlic, which is one of our favorite ingredients in food. Like we have something called imam bayıldı. In direct translation, is the preacher passed out, and it's just the traditional saying is that whoever eats that in the past would pass out because it was just so delicious.
Oh, okay.
So that's
I can imagine. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh goodness.
And of course the kebabs, just these meats, and they're also very good too. And the Turkish restaurants here in town, they do a very good job with those. Yeah.
Okay, good. I might have to visit one.
Yeah. I strongly recommend the Turquoise Grill and Nazif.
Okay.
Sounds beautiful.
I know it's on your mind.
Okay. Well, I have to eat lunch still. Okay. You can finish up the segment. We've got a few minutes left.
I see.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So, Dr. Okcu, where do you see research going, say, 5 years from now? I mean, do you see,
Yeah, well,
big breakthroughs or?
Well, that's we always of course, work for and hope for the breakthroughs. In terms of, what I do, just the survivorship research, what we want to develop is by just using these, that we want to discover genes that we can then identify, that we can say if you have the A gene, you are going to develop learning problems. So let's do something about it.
Right.
So we want to develop interventions. So once we discover these genes, and we're doing the studies right now for learning problems, we're doing it for hearing loss, we're doing for kidney injuries, we're doing for different outcomes after cancer treatment.
Right.
Once we identify those, what we will do is we'll develop interventions, and that's the most important thing, right?
Right.
You need to do it doesn't matter if you find why this is happening. You need to find something to fix it.
Exactly.
So that's where we are focusing right now to develop interventions for these outcomes, to prevent them, from happening.
Well, Dr. Okcu, I just want to thank you again for being here. It has been a pleasure,
It's been a pleasure having you. Very fun.
Yes, very, very interesting. Yes.
That was just actually my pleasure, and absolutely lots of fun. I really want to do this again.
Okay, well, you're welcome back here.
Totally,
anytime.
totally.
You work here. It's not much out of your way, is it?
Okay.
You work out here?
Yeah,
I
anytime.
mean, you
Okay.
pass by the
Yeah.
studio often.
Absolutely.
I mean, just
I can
drop
just
on
knock
by.
knock at the
the
door, and
door.
just we can do this again.
There we go.
Let's do that.
Sounds
this-
good.
That seriously,
This
that was
last-
fine. You guys are awesome. You guys both did an awesome
It
job.
was nice to
Just-
have met you.
Thank you. Yeah.
This last song, Emily, you want to announce it?
Yes, this is a song by me, and it's called it's called Back on Top.
Please enjoy. And thank you for listening to Purple Songs Can Fly on the Voice America Kids Network.
Bye.
Bye.
Tied down, fed up. I wanna break free again. I wanna get back up on top. Stuck here, shouldn't be here. Wanna break free again. I wanna get back up on top. You can't always do what you wanted to do. You can't always go where you wanted to go. You can't always stay where you wanted to stay. But if you feel chained down, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Exhilarating, hard to describe, hard to go without it. I wanna get back up on top. Feels like I'm flying, feels like I'm still. Hard to go without it. I wanna get back up on top. You can't always do what you wanted to do. You can't always go where you wanted to go. You can't always stay where you wanted to stay. But if you feel chained down, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you.
Thanks for listening to Purple Songs Can Fly. We'll see you again next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Kids channel. And remember, for more information about the Purple Songs Can Fly project, visit www.purplesongscanfly.org. We'll be back with more music next week.
Purple songs can fly.